How's it going, guys? It is Ryan here and welcome to a brand new video where we are at Hockenheim for the latest round of our F1 1997 career mode, driving as the good old Minardi that we always do. If you're new to the series and wondering why we will be starting at the back of the field, which you'll see on your screen now, we are replicating Minardi as they were in 1997. They didn't have a lot of funding, didn't really have a chance to qualify, and even if they did, they were slow. So in every race we start at the back of the field, and I asked you guys if you want me to try and do one-shot qualifying just to spice things up a bit for you guys to make it more interesting for the racers. And I thought about it, but I wanted to try and keep it as realistic as possible, so that has been scrapped and we're just doing the traditional thing that we do now, which is start at the back of every race on there. As I said, we're at the halfway stage of the season, of the series, so I'm very happy with the content that I've produced. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it. I just want to thank you quickly for the support on the series. It's been incredible on there. But to the race then. It is overcast weather here in Germany with Jacques Villeneuve attempting to win like a 7th straight victory. He's won the last 6 races of the season. Can he get number 8? We will have to see here as we're building up the revs. The lights are on. The latest round of the 1997 career mode is away we go here in Germany, and it's been a bit of a poor start from us as Katayama, our teammate next to us on the grid, gets a brilliant start. He's all in the back of the 2 stewards, I believe, as they're going to break into turn 1. A bit different from what it was in 1997 on there, but we're getting a few positions off the start of turn 1 where all chaos ensues with the AI being really slow here, as you can see. So we've just got to gain as many positions as possible. It's going to go around, I think that was Ralf Schumacher and maybe even Rubens Barrichello, but Ralf Schumacher's going around the outside of us, but just doesn't have the exit speed than we do, and we get past him. As we're going to get a bit of draft now from Pedro Diniz, which helps us get past Rubens Barrichello. And are we going to get past Pedro Diniz? We have to back out of it slightly as he braked a bit too early there, but we're going to go down the inside of Diniz and move up into 14th place. Johnny Herbert's gone wide, and it's also Larini, so the Sauber's having a bit of issues with the hairpin there. Obviously this isn't the old layout, unfortunately. This is the modern one because they changed it I think it was 2002 they changed the layout, so a bit unfortunate because I really like the old layout of the track, but what can you do on there? So it's a bit of unknown territory with these cars, so we'll have to see how it pans out. But we're going to come back into the original stadium section of the track. We go very wide on there, and that's Rubens Barrichello going down the inside of us into that corner and moves up to 13th place. So we dropped a position to 14th then. We've got Larini behind him, the Sauber, who had that mistake at the hairpin. So we've got to keep an eye on him because he does have the pace on us on a long run. So we need to see how that pans out. But the overcast weather and tyre wear is an issue around this track for me. So we've got to see if we can enhance that and see if we can try and conserve these tyres as much as possible. We had a bit of a poor exit there out of turn 1, and Larini is all over the back of us once again as we're going to be braking now into turn 2. So we've just got to keep an eye on Larini here, who will have a bit of an advantage with us being in the Sauber. It's a bit quicker than us in the Minardi, so we've got to see if we can hold him off down the back straight is the question. We may have a slight bit of slipstream from Barrichello in that steward as we're getting ever closer to him. I don't know if he's got any issues or he's in lean on this back straight, but Barrichello brakes really early for the hairpin and we just go straight into the back of him there, and we get a very good traction. Barrichello's got a little wheel spin off that corner. We're going to have a beautiful run on him here, going to go down the inside of him, but Barrichello comes across to us and gives us a bit of a cheeky tap, a bit of revenge for hitting us at for me hitting him at the hairpin, but he's going to try and hold it around the inside there and defend it brilliantly, Barrichello there. So he stays in 13th, but that gives Larini a bit of a sniff to try and make a move on us into the entrance of the stadium section where the AI are so OP through here, and that just proves the point. And Larini boldly goes down the inside and moves at the 14th, so we drop to 15th sadly in this German Grand Prix. Not the best of starts we've got, but we're just going to try and see if we can get to the end of this race. We're going to go on to the next lap, lap 3 on there, as Larini is all over the back of Barrichello as he's been held up there by Barrichello, and we do the same thing we did to Barrichello a lap ago. We just tapped Larini, but Larini, again like Barrichello on the last lap, has a poor exit, so we're going to take that opportunity, and it's a bit of an easier move than we did to Barrichello, and we move up to P14 on there as Barrichello's really struggling, I've got to say, with his car. I don't know what's going on with him, but we have to take it on the chin and just push as hard and try and get past him on there, as we've got a few truck cars behind as well. Trains emerging behind Larini, so we've got to see if that pans out. And again, for for the third time in a row, Larini pulls off a brilliant move down the inside and does it boldly and moves up to P14 again. So that corner is OP for AI on there, and this car is just a handful. He just does not want to turn in, and we're just going to turn in as Larini brakes really early for the corner for some reason, but then I realise he's gone to the pit lane for a drive-through penalty. So I don't know what happened to Larini on the first lap if he made any contact with anyone, but he's dropped to 14th. Next up, I think, is Nakano behind, and also Ralf Schumacher, who goes round the outside of Nakano at turn 1 and moves to P15. So now we've got to worry about Schumacher, not Michael, but Ralf in his Jordan. On there as Barrichello, as you can see, has pulled off dramatically 2 seconds on us already since that mistake from Larini braking really early before the pit entry on there. But we're going to go on to lap 5, and as you can see, we're already caught to the back of Rubens Barrichello, and also defending from Ralf Schumacher on here. So we're going to get a nice run out of the corner. We're going to get a bit of slipstream, which will help us in this lap, as we're going to come now over 200 miles an hour, which I probably will not say in a Minardi, but it's just the mod on there, as we give Barrichello another cheeky tap, and he's got another poor exit. Are we going to go over the curb there? And we're just going to get some slipstream now. Are we going to do a perfect move? And we do indeed get past him. Just a little bit of contact there from Barrichello, just clipping our front rear left there, rear left tyre. And we move up to P13, as Barrichello has got Ralf Schumacher to worry about right now than us, as we start to pull away from it ever so slightly. As we come now to the stadium section again, we brake really early for the corner and just try to commit to it. But Barrichello, with the OP of the AI through there, is right on the back of us there, nearly trying to make a move around the outside. But we hold on to that position of P13, as someone has already retired from the race after 5 laps. We're down to 21 drivers on there. As we go very wide out of that corner, nearly clipping the curb, which will spin you out if you are very aggressive through there. So we need to be very wary of that as the race goes on. We're doing constant 22s as well, which I was quite happy with at this point. But we're going to go on to lap 7 now, and our tyres are absolutely cooked right now, as Ralf Schumacher looks like he's got a brand spanking set of super tyres on him. Just got the grip out of there through that entry of the stadium section, and just gets right on the back of us here. But we'll be going into the pit lane for the one stop of the race there. We just nearly missed the pit entry there, as we just got to be very careful. We go on the gravel there, which won't help us one bit, as we make our way into the pit box as we go in. As it's a 49 miles an hour pit lane, where it should be really 30 if I'm honest, but we're going to be now going right to the end of the box, as I believe that was a arrow, I don't know what that was actually, that car, but we're going to be held here, which I believe is from Rubens Barrichello there, as, was it Barrichello? No, it was Ralf Schumacher actually, who has got past us in the pit lane, which is not what we wanted at all on there. So that's not what you get for coming in the same lap as arrival. So we dropped to 18th, but obviously some people haven't pitted yet, as we were the first ones to pit in this race here in Germany, as we get a bit of a poor exit there. As we're going to come now down the back straight now, we're already 7 tenths behind him, and we've got Nakano 2.5 seconds nearly behind us as well. So we need to keep an eye on him as well as trying to get past Ralf Schumacher as we come into the hairpin. And Ralf Schumacher, like the AI do, just pour through that corner. I don't know what is wrong with the AI through that part of the lap. So something maybe need to look at that. We've got a beautiful run on Ralf Schumacher at the slipstream. We're going to be really late on the brakes here, go into the inside line of the Mercedes grandstand, and we get it done nicely on Schumacher, trying to hold it around the outside, and he backs out of it, and we move back up ahead of Ralf Schumacher. But once the pit stops are made, we're in 13th place with Jacques Villeneuve now, saying the fastest lap of 20.5, 1.5 seconds quicker than us. So out of this race, I can take away that the Minardi isn't that slow round here, being 1.5 seconds off the pace, but we go wide at the final corner there, which gives Ralf Schumacher a bit of a sniff on us to try and get a move down towards turn 1. Not an overtaking place, but it would be quite an epic move by him, but he just backs out of it there, gets a nice exit out of that turn 1. We go, and he's slowly falling backwards, so that's alright I guess. But we're going to go on to lap 11 now, and as you can see, we're starting to build a gap on Ralf Schumacher ever so slightly, and we're slowly catching up to Johnny Herbert ahead of us in that Sauber on there. So Herbert ahead of us here by 4.5 seconds, but Ralf Schumacher's second. But we lock the front right and go very wide at the entry of the stadium section, probably the trickiest corner for us in this race, and Ralf Schumacher has gained that second back, probably about 8 tenths of a second gain in that one corner, as we just being a bit too aggressive I seem, as we go wide again at the final corner, which will give Ralf Schumacher a bit of a sniff to try and get us before the entry of turn 2. Oh, no, he gets a beautiful run, but we're still setting 1 minute 22s, which I was quite happy with of this Minardi's performance. So I was quite chuffed about that. But we have to see if we can hold off Ralf Schumacher. We've still got plenty of time in this race. We've got 6 laps remaining of this German Grand Prix. And I don't know who's winning the race, but I probably think it's Villeneuve, and he's going to try and go for his 8th win in a row, which would be quite astonishing. He's doing a Mercedes dominance on this game, so we need to see if that's the case here. But into the hairpin we go, nicely through there, as we're going to be now coming up towards the Mercedes-Benz Grandstand, probably the most famous part of the track, along with the stadium complex in the last sector here. Just going to be trying to brake just a tad easy on there, just a bit of a cheeky lock up there, but just pushes a bit wide, but not too serious. We maintain the position of the line, and we come out into that stadium section once again here, as we're half a second behind ahead of Ralf Schumacher, but we go wide again. Here comes Ralf Schumacher, going to try and go around the outside of us here into the stadium section, but we just hold it down the inside nicely and defend 13th place there. So a bit of a risk there from us, but we managed to hold on to the position as just go wide again in that last corner, and we cut the corner as well, but we don't get a warning from the stewards. And Ralf Schumacher's got a beautiful run out of the last corner, but just can't go anywhere to make a pass before turn 1 because it's tight for only one car to go through. So we got away with that just about, but Ralf Schumacher, as you can see, is 8/100ths of a second behind us as he crossed the line as well. Then we're going to get Johnny Herbert, I'm afraid, because he's that far ahead from us. So we need to really start thinking about maybe holding off Ralf Schumacher 13th place. We've got to wait and see. Let's move on to lap 15 then of the German Grand Prix. Johnny Herbert, as you can see, is 7 seconds up the road, so I don't think we're going to be challenging him in anymore in this race. We've got to probably gain 2.5 seconds a lap just to catch up with him. But my main goal now was to try and hold off Ralf Schumacher. It would be nice to beat one of the Schumachers on there, because I haven't done many of that this season, as apart from obviously the DNF that Ralf Schumacher may have had in this season. So we're going to see if we can hold that off. The gap's around about half a second at this point as we cross the sector line. It's now 4/10 of a second. We go very wide there. Schumacher's got a brilliant run on us here and goes round the outside of us before the tricky hairpin of the stadium section. He pulls it off, a brilliant move, and moves it to P13, and we have to surrender to a brilliant move. So we've got to really push now and see if we can catch up to Ralf and get that position back. But as you can see, he's just got that power, and the aerodynamics to pull away from us in this Minardi is just a tank on steroids. It's just not that great. We're struggling on there, but we're on for the last lap of the race, and as you can see, the tyres are absolutely cooked to the brim right now. So, and our fuel lights flashing, which I would not have expected to have, as Jacques Villeneuve pulls off his 8th consecutive win of the season. It is just absolutely bonkers. His 7th, actually, I do apologise. It's just bonkers how he pulls it off here. But he will now take a massive lead in the championship, which we'll see at the end of this video. But we're going to be now coming into the stadium section for the final time. We're up 2.5 tenths on our PB, which is quite a shock really, on very worn tyres. But we're going to be now going into this race sector for the final time, and we've got a comfortable 14th place out of this. So in a way, it's been a good race from us to get in the mid-pack once again. But our goal is to try and get a top 10 for the remainder of the season. Not to get points, but we'll have to wait and see. But we crossed the line in P14. Our guy's very happy with that, I've got to say, as our teammate finished 16th. So a very good day really for Minardi, I've got to say. Very happy with that performance, but we will have to wait and see if we can gain anything from that. But there are the results on your screen from where we were finished, so interesting there. But it was Jacques Villeneuve winning from Ralf Schumacher by 6.1 seconds, with Heinz-L Frentzen in 3rd, Jean Alesi in 4th, Gerhard Berger, his teammate, in 5th, with Giancarlo Fisichella completing the points playing positions in 6th place, with Coulthard, Hakkinen, Hill and Irvine completing the top 10, with Olivier Panis in the Prost beating Johnny Herbert in 12th place there. So it has been a very intriguing race, that was. It was a really tough one as well to hold off Ralf Schumacher at the end. They're putting off a brilliant move on us to take that position there, as you can just see there. And the sole retirement was Pedro Diniz in that Danker Arrows Yamaha car as the only retirement. But we're all on the lead lap, which is fantastic to see. I think it's the first time this series that is the case, that no one has been lapped unless unless someone's retired from the race. But anyway, let's go to the standings after Germany. So here are the standings then after Germany's round, and Jacques Villeneuve pulls an 11-point lead over his rival Michael Schumacher, with Heinz-Harald Frentzen moving up to 3rd place then, ahead of Eddie Irvine. He had a bit of a disappointing race today, with Mick Häkkinen completing the top 5 on 11 points. Giancarlo Fisichella moves ahead of David Coulthard to 6th with 7 points, with Coulthard dropping down a place with 6 points. John Lacey's in 8th with 5, with Gerhard Berger and Ralf Schumacher tied on 9th place with 4 points each. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of the 1997 career mode. The next round is at Hungary at Budapest, which will be a tough challenger for us in a Minardi with the lack of downforce, so this should be quite interesting to see. If you guys enjoy it, make sure to like the video, and if we hit 50 likes, I would immediately upload the next round at Hungary. Until then guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more F1 content, but until then, have a great day guys, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Until then, have a good day guys. See you later.